Have a very good result for your inspection. Which property is that? Mm. Okay, that's that. So I think is it going to be available? Okay, you said it's not going to be available. Okay. Now, yeah. Okay. When you go for the inspection, is he expecting videos?
Yes.
Mm.
But do you have the video on
Yeah, we have some videos. When we went,
particular?
no, when we went for inspection, we have some videos we took. You know, the place, the last time we cleared the documentation was cleared, but now it's bushy. So when we went for allocation, we cleared some parts, cleared the entrance and cleared the parking lot. So we have these videos. So if you go for inspection now, you will see the place that was cleared before if it has not grown, was very constantly false. So do you think we should send those videos to him for if he's not satisfied? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. So you see, that's what we are discussing. Okay, Mark. Any feedback from any client? Anyone positive feedback, negative feedback, any experience? Yeah? Whatever they're saying, you can share with them, talk about it.
It's actually really easy.
Yeah, of course. That's what we're talking about. It.
Yes, it's really easy. And thank God for the prayer this morning. That's not really been easy, but thank God for who we are in Christ.
Yeah.
You know, this guy did so far. We've been talking to people, and they're giving us good response, telling us to come back, get back to us.
Right.
Then for those that are seeing it online, are like, So I'm still trying to make them understand that yes, we want real estate. The real estate that sells land and gives receipt, and give more than receipt when you are done paying. You understand me? So, most people don't really understand it out there that the affiliates are much.
They are different, yeah.
And they are different.
They don't even know.
They don't know
There's
anything.
nothing like P1 real estate.
They don't know anything. They just believe P1 is P1. Yes.
Actually, there's nothing like P1 real estate.
Yes.
It's either P1 group,
Yes.
P1 whatever company.
Yes. So, and another thing, sir, thank you for this note. To be sincere, affiliates must try to do their best. We are tired of saying you will do, and it will still be
the same thing.
It's still the same thing. Sorry, let me deviate a bit. Do you think it's happy for us to sell for you and we will not be paid a commission?
Wow.
If I talk now, you will say it's not your affiliate. Are you getting what I'm saying? That is what they themselves will also see.
Yeah.
It's wrong. What is making some place empty now? To be sincere, it is because this affiliate don't keep their words. So someone like me, if I tell you I've been in the bus stop since after 7, look at the time I got here. Just because I want to be here. Even got to a point I wanted to go back home. Because I was sitting in the bus stop. But I said, no, I'm already here. I'm at the bus stop. Let me still take the risk. So only God knows how much I pay to this place. Just because I want to gain knowledge. And just because I want to sell for this affiliate. So please, I don't search for selling, yes. But anyway, like you're asking.
You have some experience before me. But this commission deal.
Yes. So, and I'm not the only one complaining.
Of course, yeah.
I really want us to really look into that direction. And another thing again, when you say clients should, after payment, try to get their documents in 3 months. Even some even say 1 week. I don't know. At least that 3 months or 4 months or 6 months. Do according to your word. Don't make it look as if we, the PBUs, we are liars. So please, this real estate business is not a joke. If you don't have integrity, you say once and you did not deliver. And we are believing God that these same people we have sold for will refer us to clients. And we did not deliver 100%. Are they going to refer us? So, it really.
Don't record this. You don't have enough space. Let's record it.
We really say,
You
I
know,
understand God.
for that issue, one thing is because of the brand in P1, whatever one affiliate does,
Sometimes it is.
tends to want to ripple effect on others. Why? Because people don't see the difference. Personally, I was discussing with someone, I think it's also my enemy now too. I think personally, the idea of using one common brand, of course, it has its advantage, right? You know, oneness as in you, but we are now discovering that disadvantage is terrible. People are not seeing the companies, they are seeing the brands.
After they see we as a brand, they see.
And Mr. Scott made sure that what he used was the brand. If you see a statement, P1 Real Estate Company, there is no such thing as P1 Real Estate Company, and you can actually sue him to court for using that. Because if you bring documents is clearly to, right, these documents of specific companies. Why didn't you mention those companies? But that's not the issue. The issue is that the damage has been done. The idea is the damage. That's one thing about, and I believe that those are the top that they shrug off the potential threat. They like, it's not internet, just come and talk, come on. By the time it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it began to escalate. The effects, they began to feel the effects. They now try to begin to correct it, but the damage has been done. They allowed it to continue and to see, and the funniest is that most of the things he said was not a lie.
But not a lie, I like that.
Some affiliates had issues, right? They didn't bother to resolve the issues correctly. Call him, sit down, and say, okay, yes, this thing is true, but let's find out what happened. It turned out that what really happened was that, when land is, someone bought the land, I happened, someone bought the land 10 years ago. Now came back to want to develop the land. The land has been developed, covered. What happened? What actually happened was that they had an issue with that one, and they missed clearance on that one. Then they sent emails. He didn't get his email. The people didn't do anything. So when they now investigate and dog, they now discover that when you go to the office, the people you meet 10 years later are not the people that was there before. They now have to check the email. Email and all that. Now saw that they sent message. And the person didn't get it. But the person, I've not been using this email for a long time. You see the problem now. Yeah. Both the affiliates, both the PBU, both the clients. But of course, in business, customer is always right. So customer will always take and say, no, you guys are wrong. Why didn't you? My land is supposed to be here. But not knowing that year even bought the land, they moved everybody to another place.
So you now want to build in this one?
No, he couldn't build nothing. Someone else, a different company has taken up that place and developed it. That's what I'm saying. So that now started the new issue. Plus the issue of, because for me, I believe that Mr. Ford has a personal vendetta against an affiliate or against somebody within the P1 company. And I decided to use that as a head to attack everybody. We see this in business. So the thing now is, how do we, in terms of commission, that's why I said it's not so for us, right? You can do it at least you can ask Mr. Frank, Mr. Justice, right? Justin. Yes, what was it? And all that. Who else have sold for that? That was Justin. Mr. Johnson had the issue one time. The commission that they made was not his direct commission, it was indirect because of verification from PPO office. For the direct, we bypass the PPO verification process and pay our direct commission directly. So, but When you were, but that does not mean that other affiliates are doing the same. So when people have experiences with affiliates and they come here, the idea is that we are all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You see, so in that kind of situation, there's nothing we can do as P1 said.
How they drawing to the board?
Of course,
Because let me tell you, sir. It's not to be corrected.
we have board meetings, and I sometimes mention all these things.
It's
How
not right.
these things affect all of us.
Do you know that
Yes,
most
of course.
people are selling for outside company now instead of selling for their own brand?
Of course.
Because of things like this.
Yeah.
Somebody called me the other day because most people they keep they respect me a lot. And they want to get but you understand information, updates. Like me, I might not say for that affiliate, but I always refer people to affiliates that I know that are trying.
Mm.
And even that affiliate that I thought are trying are the ones that are even defaulting right now. So it's not funny at all, sir. So I don't understand.
But in that case, it's very difficult for us to have influence over other affiliates. Very, very, very.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult, and it's very. And you wouldn't see, man,
Yes, sir.
when you have issues with such affiliates, don't blame the staff because they're not the ones controlling the money, right? It's the
Oh, they're
head.
not the one controlling money, it's the head.
And if you notice, our MD always tell you the fact that she tells you that she's accessible doesn't carry mugu. There's no security. There's no, she won't enter talking, she will follow yet. I excuse him and she will listen to you. You get it now? So that will show you that we have nothing to hide or we are not running away from anything. It's just getting us. But that area is very difficult to handle because, like I said, P1 brand is a team holding us together. So even some PPOs have not, it doesn't find it separates different affiliates. When they have experience with one, they work with the other person. I learned that the PPOs now have a forum where they post issues. I don't know if you
No,
have
I don't want to read that.
a forum where they post issues. If there is one affiliate that has an issue, they call out. I like that idea. At least everybody should know this affiliate is not doing well. Listen, but what I don't like is people don't know how to handle.
Vital situations like that.
Yes, they don't know how to
Vital
handle
information.
circumstance. They tend to inflate and
Yeah,
inflate
so
it.
that's why that kind of group I don't know.
So when you put it there and inflate it, and you don't even know who is in that.
It's in that group.
That's the thing. So when you think you are protecting yourself, you're actually shooting yourself in the foot in the first place. So that experience is, we are still, P1 is still recovering from that. We are not recovered because at the wake of the Scott issue, a lot of companies that I know, at least I know two, who have started like 2 years ago, but suddenly they just came up. Why? When PPUs are being shoved left and right, money is no longer coming. Business have to continue because bills are always there to pay, right? Then you see companies coming out and offering the same model because you have to companies who are offering the same model. P1 Group is the first real estate business that have taught marketing, but it's not the only now. It's the first. Thank God, Abi. But it's not the only now.
Yes.
And if we are not careful, companies will come up, adopt your model, fine tune it, make it better. And if they have 2 years clean record, they'll carry it out. So
So this is what we're saying. That is why. Stand on your integrity. That's where I'm going.
we here we do.
Stand
But
on
the
your
problem
integrity.
is we cannot influence others to do. Is that also? Yeah. Don't influence others. So if you have any experience this week, last week, clients, whatever you want to share with us. That's your clients, Shiva.
she blacked out. It was senseless, you know. No, but I told the budget they had. What she wanted,
That's okay.
the more driver, I need the reply. That was why I couldn't accept that standing part. To send it finished. First standing part.
Okay,
Which
first
is about 8.5 million.
it was
If I was taking them, they will see that.
yeah.
So, but this one, you know, you're talking about the one something 2.5. To where your money can. I didn't look project.
Yeah.
But they are like, oh, this is in the state.
Okay, it's too far and all that. But haven't you been hearing? I'm hearing this thing. Have you seen some flyers of lands? You know,
Yeah,
farmland, as in
yeah.
farmland being sold. You know, so it's no longer about. God will help us to get clients who don't mind location. Those want to invest in there because now it's not about location.
But this your shop, this land now, can it be used for farmland?
Yes,
Can be used for
I'm
farmland?
used to farm. So now it's because we won't tell you that we'll develop it next year or develop it next month or next 6 months. No, it's an investment property, right? It's an investment property. We don't hide it. It's an investment. That's why if you look at the charge to landlord, I don't mention it. I think in one of the videos, you see the land for your child. When your child is 10 years when you bought the land, your child is now 18, 19, and your child is 2. That's how many years? 9 years. In 9 years, you might, no, you can't tell the future. Even though you have money, money can be tied in different places, and you want money to, you can say, oh, I have this investment that I bought 5, 6, 7 years ago. Let me call the estate, the office, and see how much that land is valued now. Is that not so? Something you bought for 6 million is now valued for 20 million. Right? Can you help me facilitate sale of this land? Let me use the money to do something. She mentioned something like that. You want to use it. So it's an investment. Like you said it is for farm. You can buy land in Shiwo and use it for farm.
Okay, sir.
Yes. It's close to a community, so it's not bush. It's very close to a community.
That's very
You have you been there? You've been there, sir, right? You see now, it's very close to even to, I think there's, what do they call this head of community? Ballet, yes.
It's close to the
5 minutes drive from the ballet's house. Once you pass the ballet's house, you go in, and each time we go there, the last time I went there, I couldn't recognize the place. Why? Because certain areas has been cleared and they started developing. Yes. I've seen we saw foundation on the other side of the road towards the what I say is that in 1 year that place I won't if I don't go there for 1 year, I might not even recognize it. Yes. That's how development is. When we went to that land, it was completely bush. Probably we're the one that triggered that, oh, this one estate is coming here. Value. And mind you, once one company goes to a community and buys a land, just know that 20 companies are hiring that community. Yes. So everybody wants to buy land, they want to buy land. That's how real estate companies do. So, the reason why I'm saying this is that, yes, things are difficult because of what is going on, but if you have your facts right, for example, about this P1 issue, if you understand how to navigate your clients and explain to your clients what went down and everything, you can get clients who will understand what you're saying and will still buy. Because believe it or not, some people have been into real estate business for a long time. One of our clients, this one, so one of our clients who has bought the Hamilton, Lamida, bought selling park. He said, he called my area and said, someone called me. One of the people called him and said, that's a company in Portland. Are you getting what's happening? How far? Well, according to him, he said the guy shot his friend's call. What was wrong with you? I said, no. Well, maybe, but I don't have a problem with my property. I will pay 170. So are you sure? The person that is saying, are you sure, has been in real estate for 20 years. Before our MD even started real estate, started selling as a PDU before you. So, you know, he has been in real estate, so that was like a win for us. So imagine, that should tell you that a lot of people out there, our clients are even still defending the brand. I tell their friends that.
Yes.
I'm not saying what we had is not true, but I'm saying the companies are different.
Yeah.
As far as he is concerned, people want telling us no problem. All is documentation. I know once you have registered survey, once you have registered survey of any land, you are no longer dealing with company. You're dealing with government. How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Yeah.
If your client buys the land and the company gives your client the registered survey, the registered survey comes from the government. It means government recognizes that plot and has given it to that client. Right? All of our clients who are fully paid their money have registered survey and that copies of it. We have about 24, 25 registered surveys, if not more, that's the one I'm aware of. Right? So that in itself shows that, and it's not just only one study. We have other athletes also. I don't have problem with documentation. Hello. So, but how you communicate this thing to your clients is very, very important. That's you yourself have to be calm. Because if your client tells you, these people I've been hearing about, they will start reading you. That's one of the things we're going to learn today. Psychology of something that forgotten the title of it. So they'll begin to read you. And some people are very intelligent. Once they read you, even you, immediately they mention that thing, you lose confidence in the brand. Even you, I'm not still seeing confidence in this person's body language. I can't even buy.
One of that. Some clients, they don't know what they want.
That is why you yourself have to stand in position to. You have to be very authoritative when you are describing and explaining the property and the investment opportunities.
I was talking to one man, and let's say, they have problems with, okay, let me help you with some.
Yes.
I want to charge you.
Yes. Yeah.
I said, if you send me the email and then
Yes. Yes.
over 4 months.
Yes.
I will charge him up down.
That is the issue.
And you within this same
Of course, you can't have. Let me tell you the truth. 100% of clients out there, sir, about 70% are like that. They are very difficult. That is why Mr. Tijani is going to teach us something very, very fascinating. Yes. Because this is very, very important. You see, have you heard of, do we know of emotional intelligence? Have you heard of emotional intelligence?
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to talk about emotional intelligence one day. Because that in itself is the root of success or failure. Emotional intelligence. If your clients, okay, sir, do you know that you can be talking to a prospective client and his words will be defending you and annoying you and you'll be getting offended. That is because you are not aware of your emotional compass. You are not aware of your emotional compass. You have not done proper self-awareness. You don't know the things that trigger you and you deal with it. If your clients talk to you and you get offended, you have lost that client.
But I didn't show it to him also. I showed it to him, but inside me, I was. The Holy Spirit just said me that.
You understand? So, we don't further delay because our time is going. Wow, fantastic. This is interesting. We don't further delay. We'd like to welcome our speaker for today. Please give me the honor of clapping your hands as we welcome Mr. Tijani Mohammed to take us on a very, very wonderful topic this morning. Clap your hands as we come forward. What do you want to stand?
morning. Seeing the different set of new faces than last week. No, I mean the seven. Last were you around last seminar? Exactly what I'm seeing the different sets. Why I'm making mention of this is because the seminar is supposed to continue from the last seminar. Although it's a different topic entirely, but it flows together. So I'll probably give a recap of what was discussed last week, Monday. Okay. My name is Tijani Mohammed. Last week we talked about the logic and fallacies in real estate marketing. Logic and fallacies in real estate marketing. Now, the topic was to introduce us to logical reasoning and the errors in logical reasoning, which are called fallacies. Um, while we are out there, while we are marketing to prospects, we are to apply logical reasoning to be able to convert these prospects to clients. And sometimes one or two things we say changes the reception of our prospects, chases them away, for example, and prevents them from buying from us. And most of the time, the reason is that we have committed one or two fallacies that push them back into. So last week we talked about logic, and it's simply the art of correct reasoning, how to reason correctly. So we spoke about the power of logical reasoning in sales, because people don't just buy because of price, they buy because of conviction. So that conviction comes from reasoning. So we spoke of the laws of logic last week, and one of the laws of logic is the law of identity. We stated that identity, a thing is a thing, meaning this chair is a chair, this speaker is a speaker, and this fan is a fan. That is the law of identity. We cannot call this speaker a fan. We cannot call this chair light. Now, this is the reason why I gave that law of identity last week. Say, for example, you're speaking to a prospect, and because you want that prospect to be interested in committing himself to buying that property, you are calling a 600 square meter, 900 square meter, just to entice that prospect. Now, it becomes contradictory when the prospect finds out that what you've been marketing to him as 900 square meter is 600 square meter. And once that trust has been breached, that prospect will step back from you. The best way to always market is to build trust. It's from trust that convert to sales. Once your prospect loses trust with you, it doesn't want to deal with you anymore. In short, it goes as far as telling other people that you are not to be dealt with. Then I also spoke about the law of contradiction, which is similar to law of identity. Um, if what we cannot say, let's put it that way. Then we spoke of the law of excluded middle. It's either true or false. There's nothing in between. Okay. Is this property accessible from the express? Yes or no? It's not maybe or somehow. You get my point now. So we can start together. Then we spoke about the principle of sufficient reasoning. Everything is why. Now, I would like to explain this one very well again. You see, for example, you are marketing a property to a prospect, and you are telling the prospect that this this property would yield high return on investment in the next few years. What you have just made there is a claim, and that claim needs a reason to back it up. So when you're telling any prospect that you're making any claim to any prospect, you are supposed to give that prospect the reason why you have made that claim. That's why I said every claim needs a why. So you should explain further and say, okay, this property is supposed to give high return on investment in the next few years. Reason being that there's a governmental project in the area, it is close to the express. You give your reasons to your claim. That backs your claim, and that makes your prospect trust you more because you are giving him information. And giving him information is giving value to him. And we're going to talk about that in today's class, but I'm just giving you a recap of what we did last week first. So we also talked about fallacies last week. We say fallacy is a mistaken reasoning. And we spoke about the types of fallacies. We have formal fallacies and the informal fallacies. The formal fallacies is very simple. Does not logically follow from a premise. And last week we explained what the premise is and what the conclusion is. Now, if you say real estate is highly profitable, that is a premise. And you conclude by saying everybody that goes into real estate will make a lot of money. That is the conclusion. So last week we talked about premises and conclusions, talked about arguments as well. The type of fallacy, under the type of fallacy we have formal fallacy and informal fallacy. And the formal fallacy, which is a mistaken reasoning, simply means when your conclusion does not follow from your premise. For example, all cars are vehicles, all buses are vehicles. Does that mean that all cars are buses? No. That is an error in reasoning. So simply put, in a real estate setting, you can see one of the formal fallacies, an example can be all investors buy property. You are an investor, therefore you must buy property. It doesn't follow from the premise. That conclusion does not follow from the premise. So that's a formal fallacy. So we spoke about the informal fallacy, we spoke about attacking the person, not the argument, as one of the informal fallacies. So attacking the person, not the argument, was one of the informal fallacies we talked about last week. And this is a situation where somebody makes an argument, and instead of you to focus on the argument, you are attacking the person. Say, for example, the client says, the other agent told me that there's a cheaper land there. And your reply is, forget that agent. He just desperate to make commission. No, that is not the argument. The arguments are about price. So stick to that argument and forget about the other agents that we are talking about just now. So in a more logical argument, what the reply should have been something like, let's compare the two properties in terms of title, location, and development. You get my point now. So now, the client realizes that you sound logical. You want to give him more information about why the prices of the other agents is different from your prices, and he wants to listen to you more. So not talking about the person, but talking about topic itself. So that is an error in reasoning, and that should not happen unless it loses interest. We also spoke about appeal to emotion, and this is using feeling instead of fact. This one happens a lot. Very well. Say, for example, now, somebody says, a real estate marketer says, this estate is the key to your destiny. I made mention of this last week. Now, if a client hears that, he might not respond to you, but inside him, he might feel, how would you say this estate is the key to your destiny? That is, you're talking out my emotions, you get my point. So he wouldn't want to listen to you, but he just keep listening there while you're there. And once you leave, he just keeps laughing and doesn't come back to you. Because why? You are not giving him information about purchasing land. You're not giving him information about making investments. You're not giving him information about making money. What you're just doing there was to appeal to his emotion. Destiny has nothing to do when it comes to investment. You should don't even mention things like that to people. So you should stick to what real estate is and not go appeal to emotions. I also talked about hasty generalization, that is jumping into conclusions. Now, sometimes when we market from the little little evidence that people have, they jump into these generalizations. Say, for example, people who bought land here last year are all rich now. So this place will make you rich too. It is not generally correct. It's very possible that at the time when land was bought in this area, it was growing. But you know how things change, you know how times change. So the fact that people who bought land here last year all became rich doesn't necessarily mean that if another client buys land there, he also become rich. So that is the fallacy of basic generalization we talked about. Then we talked about mistaking correlation for causation. Say for example, I washed my car, then it rained. Later I washed my car. And the next thing I'm saying is that it rained because I washed my car. That's the big error. You understand? You can't say because you did something now and something else happened after it, then therefore what happened after it is the cause of what you did initially. No, it's not correct. But then I gave a real estate example last week about mistaking correlation for causation. I said, since we launched this estate, prices in this area have gone up. So caused the rise. We look at it very well. The fact that we open up an estate in this area, the price of commodities in the area goes up. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's our estates are positive, right? It could be any other thing, it could be any other factor. So, we also spoke about the bandwagon fallacy. You want to market an estate to a client and your phrase, your catchy phrase is because So your catchphrase is, since everybody is doing it, you should also do it. Everybody is buying the land at so area now, so you should also buy it. That is the bank balance. You're not giving the client enough reason, logical reason to buy that property. They are only telling you to buy because every other person is buying. And it doesn't make sense. What if I join every other person to buy and I lose out in the end? Will my reason for getting that property be because everybody else is buying it? That is the part of controversy. So, also talk about appeal to authority. Our MD says that this land is profitable, so it is profitable. That's appeal to authority. You are marketing to a client and you are committing the fallacy of appeal to authority. Your reason for asking this client to buy this land is because our MD says that this land will appreciate in 3 years' time. That is not enough reason to convince somebody to buy the land. It's not logical enough. Your words should speak about facts, not fallacies. Should speak more sense, make more logic. Then we spoke about the strongman fallacy, misrepresenting someone's position to attack it. Say, for example, the client says, I'm not ready to buy it now. And the response is, so you don't believe in investment. That is, you are misrepresenting his position. He says he's not ready to buy. And your answer is that, so do you not believe in investment? You see that the two statements are not supposed to be together. Because he is telling you that he's not ready to buy. He didn't mention not being interested in investment. So you're not speaking and asking him if he's not ready, he does not believe in investment. It changes his mindset about you. It first feels like it's either you don't cannot hear what he has just said, or you have a problem with reasoning. And when he hears that, he doesn't feel comfortable enough to want to deal with you anymore. Because you're not communicating like you're not communicating logically. You understand? I'm telling you, I'm not ready to buy the property, and you're asking me if I don't believe in investment. You don't follow. You don't follow at all. So, logical response to that kind of situation would be, I understand. May I ask what would make you ready to invest? Now it's open to discuss this issue with you. It's open to sit with you and say, okay, this is the reason why I'm not ready to invest. The capital I have to feel like I'm looking to get a property around this area, this area, this area, and the capital is not enough for me. If God helps you very well that day, you might have a property that fits into what He is looking for in that location and in that budget. But because you are giving Him the opportunity to open up, to speak. But if you tell Him things like, does that mean you don't believe in investment? If you've lost that opportunity, contradict what He has just told you. So you lost that time as well. We also spoke about false dilemma, presenting only two options when they are wrong. Say, for example, telling the client, buy now or lose forever. That's impossible. Why would you lose forever if it doesn't buy the property? It doesn't buy the property from another property. Can come back from another agent or buy from another company. So, presenting only two options when they are wrong is a fallacy of false dilemma. We talked about the fallacy of circular reasoning, repeating the conclusion as the reason. Say, for example, this estate is valuable because it's worth the price. There is no sense to that statement. You can't say this chair is valuable because it's worth the price. That's circular reasoning. It doesn't make sense at all. You can say this chair is valuable because it's strong, because it's beautiful, because it carries out its purpose. That is reasoning. But when you say it is valuable because it's worth the price, that's circular fallacy. There's no sense to that at all. Then we also spoke about slippery slope, saying if you don't buy this land now, you will never own a property. That's a fallacy. If somebody doesn't buy this property, it doesn't mean you will never own a property. No. You can buy a property on that time or another year somewhere else. Perfect. So I'll stop there about recap for last week. Move into this week's topic. Um, so the topic of today is the psychology of persuasion in real estate sales. The psychology of persuasion in real estate sales. What do we know about persuasion? Who can define persuasion? How to define persuasion? To persuade. Persuasion. To persuade a person.
Persuasion
Yes.
is the process of trying to convince someone to understand why it's
Okay. Okay. That's relating to real estate. He said persuasion is the process whereby you give somebody what? You try to convince somebody
trying to give the person understanding why she should
by the property. That's persuasion in real estate sales. Okay. Any other person?
Next time.
First string. First string. First string can sound a little bit too difficult. When you say first string, it feels like you're disturbing. Any other person? Okay. So persuasion is the process of guiding someone towards a decision that benefits them. Persuasion is the process of guiding someone towards the decision that benefits them through trust, understanding, through trust, understanding, and emotional connection. Let's go by there. Persuasion is the process of guiding someone toward a decision that benefits them through trust, understanding, and emotional connection. It is very important to understand, very important to understand what the keywords are. Persuasion, it's very important to understand that you are a guide. You are a guide. You are guiding towards a decision that benefits that client. Now, also understand that while you are guiding them trust, through trust, understanding, through trust, understanding, and what? And emotional connection. Through trust, understanding, and emotional. Now, with this definition, I've probably given you everything you need to know about persuasion. Guide through trust, understanding, and emotional connection to a decision that benefits the person you're trying to pursue. Now, this is different from manipulation. Manipulation is selfish. Persuasion is not. This is what persuasion stands for. Guide a person to a decision that benefits them through trust, understanding, and emotional connection. Yes, so let's clarify the difference between persuasion and manipulation. We just define what persuasion is. Let's clarify the difference between persuasion and manipulation. Now, for persuasion, it is honest and mutual benefits. That means both you and the client are benefiting from it. And it's from honesty. That is why we spoke about trust and understanding. Persuasion comes with trust and understanding. So it is a honest communication between you and the person. And it is mutually beneficial, which means you will benefit from that connection or that relationship. And also the client will benefit from it. That is what persuasion means. But then for manipulation, it's selfish or deceitful intent. Now, you see, this is the reason why a lot of people lose time. When you're supposed to persuade a client to buy from you, you end up manipulating the client. And let me tell you, the truth is, there's everybody here. Let's be realistic. Let's be real to ourselves now. If you are communicating with the person and you realize that that person is trying to manipulate you, what will you do? You get upset. You won't stop talking to that person. You get irritated. You don't want to have anything to do with that person. That is how everybody reacts. So if you believe that you can manipulate a client into buying from you, just understand the risk. The risk is that if the client notices that you are trying to manipulate them, he will do what every human being will do. And he will stop talking to you, stop receiving your calls, stop communicating with you altogether. So that is why always choose persuasion in place of manipulation. A second difference between persuasion and manipulation. In persuasion, you create a long-term relationship. In persuasion, you create a long-term relationship. Meaning, you can see the keywords that we use to define persuasion just now. Trust, understanding, and emotional connection. Now, trust is supposed to be a long-term thing. If we both trust each other to work together, it's supposed to be long-term. If we both understand each other, it will yield what? Long-term gain. But for manipulation, it's only for a short-term gain. That's why you hardly find somebody that gains over that person while manipulating them for a long time. It's short term. You just get the person now, manipulate the person, you use the person, after a while you come to the person, move to another person, try it again. So the cycle continues like that, like that, like that. You use this person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you don't do the person. Because eventually that person will realize that what you are manipulating them. They'll do whatever everybody does, they walk away from you. Look for another person, you manipulate them for another short while. They jump them again, look for another person. That's why you will see some people, you find some bosses and you see that this boss has been working with this staff for close to 20 years now, and that staff is still with him. But then you also find one particular boss that gets a staff that he uses for 5 years interval. He manipulates this person for 5 years. The person that finds out that he's being manipulated, he walks away. He gets another boy, manipulates that boy for another 5 years. The boy finds out one day, he walks away. So you realize that this person is always changing one particular staff. Maybe his personal assistant or his someone that works very, very close to you, but you realize that 5 years, another person, 4 years, another person, what's going on? Yeah, there is no trust between him and that person. It's only manipulation. He doesn't persuade them to work with him, he manipulates them into working with him. And as soon as they realize that they work with him, he tells another person again, he does the same thing for a couple of years, he works with him. But then you will find some bosses, 25 years, that person has been working with them, he has become a family member. Because this person realizes that he's not being manipulated. He's being persuaded to work. So he stays. He feels at home. 25, 30 years working short. Then telling him, I'll put your own this thing, we'll do for you. So no, to stay. This is his home now. You understand? That's the difference between persuasion and manipulation. So, like we just said, persuasion builds trust, while manipulation destroys trust. Like what I just explained now, the expression I just gave it to you now. Persuasion builds trust. Someone that's working 30 years with somebody, I mean, I don't think you can tell him anything about his boss and listen to him. He trusts his boss so much, I've been working with him for 35 years now. But manipulation, without you telling him anything, he begins to distrust the boss by himself. You don't even tell him anything, he's seeing it by himself. This man, so this is no fear. Begins to distrust the boss. So that's what happens between manipulation and persuasion. Now, understanding human behavior in real estate. That's the next point. Understanding human behavior in real estate. Let's talk about the emotional drivers behind every purchase. I want you to be able to identify these emotional drivers behind every purchase. What are the things that make a client purchase from you? Let me let you understand one thing. Human beings are emotional beings, sorry. We are driven by emotion. We are different from every other animal in the world or every other existing animal. Human beings are different. We are emotionally driven. As much as it might sound like a fallacy to appeal to emotions when you are thinking logically. That is why we always like to say, that's why I gave that topic last week, where I spoke about logical reasoning and fallacy. I wanted us to separate facts from emotion. That was why last week I talked about logical reasoning. Now, in logical reasoning, it doesn't appeal to emotion. We talk about the law of honesty, for example. It says a thing is a thing. If you are wrong, you are wrong. If you are right, you are right. If it's a chair, it's a chair. And if that's a shelf, it's a shelf. That is logical reasoning. Deals with facts. But human beings, the way we appeal to emotions a lot. We appeal to emotions a lot. Somebody can tell you, even if I am wrong, you don't have to have corrected me in public. Why? Let's be logical about it.
It looks embarrassing.
Yeah, because it looks embarrassing. Because why? That's emotion. It looks embarrassing. That's how human beings work. But let us be logical. You are wrong. You have no right to demand how to be corrected. That is logical reason. That is why you see that when people go to the court of law for some cases, they invite specialists to come and give their own specialist, how is it called? Yes, to give their own service. Because they know that
It goes just beyond logic. The law goes just beyond logic. They have come to, although in the past, maybe centuries ago or whatever, the law was very, very logical. If you do this, you will be killed. If you do this, you will be jailed. If you do this, this will happen to you. That is logic. You understand? They just follow it. Once you are found guilty, you are guilty. No question mark, no nothing. But over time, the law has evolved. Judgment has evolved in the law courts, whereby somebody might have actually killed the person, but investigation will go as far as finding out the cause of why he killed this person. Because if you look through the record, oh, this person has been a decent man all his life. This person has been going to work, taking care of his family, doing everything. How can they say that he killed his wife? They'll say, no, we must investigate this case. We won't just go there and say, okay, he killed his wife, he's found guilty, we're going to kill him, we're going to hang him. No. You understand now? So, although logical reasoning is very important, but we need to know that humans are emotional beings as well as being physical and spiritual and whatever. We are also emotional beings. So you can find out that they might investigate that matter up to a point where they find out that his wife has been doing something crazy to him for years. You understand? And now, because of that, they will reduce the sentence, maybe from death to life imprisonment, or 50 years imprisonment, or 80 years imprisonment. You know, why? They are appealing to the emotion that, of course, logically he has killed his wife and he is meant to face his own. But then, is there anybody that would have gone through what his wife was doing to him and be normal? And they will say, no, true. This man tried, so he's not supposed to kill his wife. So because of that, there's this and this. So that's why you need to understand that even in marketing, humans are emotional. And you have to appeal to their emotions sometimes if you want to get them to buy from you. So let's start. The emotional drivers behind every purchase. Number one emotion that every client will look at before making purchase is what? Security. Security. I want a safe place for my family. Even those fast people, you have to let them know. Now the property is a secure place. It's a secure environment. Don't just tell them that it's a fine place to make money. No, you're talking about residential. If you're talking about residential, you just let the client know that this property is safe for him and his family. You understand? You have to emphasize the neighborhood safety. Oh, there's a police station just a street away from where the estate is. You get my point now? Oh, the estate is fenced and gated with the estate security in there as well. You have to let them know. You have to let them know the technology that is used in security of the estate. Maybe they use constant gates at the estate. Maybe the security team that is managing it, this is their security assignment instruction that they use to keep people outside and to keep people inside as well. You have to let them know. So security is one of the emotions that you need to take. That is one of the emotional drivers why clients purchase property. Number two, status. Yeah, some people care about status a lot. Okay, this kind of property now. If I buy it, does it make me look like I'm a big man now? Yeah, that's what one is now. We're very funny like that. I want to buy something that makes me look. Why do people buy iPhones a lot? Status. Yeah, I point now. That's why people buy iPhones a lot. Status. Most of the people don't even use the iPhone up to half of what the iPhone can do. I'm just going to be honest with you. Some of them don't even have. Let me tell you something. I've seen a person using an iPhone and it doesn't have lights at home. So it comes to the public place where we charge our phone and it comes to charge the iPhone there. And I look at the phone and I'm like, the one of this phone, you can buy a generator and still buy a smartphone with the one of that phone. But no, he prefers to buy that phone. Why? It's not stupid. It's not stupid. He is buying it because human beings will buy things based on our emotion. He wants to show status. You know, so a lot of us are different. I might not buy an iPhone probably ever because of what I use my phones for. I might not be comfortable with iPhone. Yeah, that is me. But there are a lot of people that they want to appeal to their emotion, they want to show status. They want to be able to walk out in public and just pull out their phone and just walk around and show that, yeah, I'm using iPhone 15. Yeah. That's what. That's how human beings. That's why I was telling you that that's the kind of person we are. We are emotionally driven. So some people will want to buy a particular property to show status. When you say this man is in, you say, it's in the Jebu area, it's still not buying. I'm not going to show that I have. When you're telling them that is in, what's the name of that Hamilton? When you say Hamilton, they say, hey, where's Hamilton Bay? You know, hey, okay, yeah, I think I want that one. So you need to be able to identify what your client wants. Is your client looking for security or is looking for status? Because they appeal to their emotions a lot. Another emotional driver to purchase is comfort. Oh, I'm tired of renting apartments. I just want to have my own house. Now, you find that amongst clients who really don't care where the property is. But it's just telling you, it's not about it being in Jebu or it being close to the express or whatever. He just wants comfort. I'm tired of renting apartments. So, please, do you have a land for me? So you have to be able to identify emotional drivers before you can make sales. Because that is where you can persuade the clients from. That is the angle at which you can persuade the clients from. Like it or not, marketing is a psychological business. You have to be able to study your clients. You have to be able to read your clients and know where and how you can persuade them. Very important. Another emotional driver is investment. Some of them just want to invest. I want to buy a property that I can sell in the next 10 years for twice the price or 3 times the price. You have to be able to identify those kind of properties to those kind of clients. And say, okay, since it's investment you're going into, let me show you. We have this property here, we have this property here. Now, this property is going to appreciate at a very high speed because, don't forget, I made mention of something when we started. Every claim must be backed up with a reason. If you are making a claim, it was backed up with a reason. So when you are giving that kind of client who is interested in making investment only, oh, this is the kind of property we have, this is the kind of property we have, this one is going to appreciate very quickly because there is a government project in the area, because it is close to the express. We must be able to explain why that property will appreciate quickly in the next few years. So you must provide facts about return on market growth. Then another emotional driver is legacy. Some people just want to buy a property that they can leave for their children. So we must use emotional language around generational ownership when it comes to that. So common buyer biases in real estate. You understand what bias is? BIASES, biases. So you are being biased.
Someone buy a
Yes, buyer biases in real estate. Buyers are not always rational
Their minds are influenced by shortcuts called cognitive biases. Biases are not always rational. Their minds are influenced by shortcuts called cognitive biases. Their minds are influenced by shortcuts called cognitive biases. COGNITIVE, cognitive biases. Now, we're not talking about these common biases. The things, we talk about logic, we talk about fallacies, we talk about persuasion. Let's talk about bias. We expect that after we have given our clients every logical explanation to getting a property, we expect that they would be logical. But then, most of them, they purchase properties without being rational. Let me explain to you. One of the biases we're talking about here is the anchoring bias. It means the first price or information they see influence all others. If you start high, the discount appears more attractive. Let me give you an instance. Have you ever gone to buy something at the market? And you know these Igbo boys, maybe they sell their market. This thing is cost 15,000 naira. That is the price that Igbo boy wants to sell his market, 15K. But he sees you and sees your address well. He knows that you will be more attracted to buy that product from him if the price was higher and you were able to bring it out and sell. You get my point? You want to buy this chair from him now, you say, how much is the chair? He tells you that the chair is 35,000. And he tells you, no, you can't buy it at 35,000, like you want to buy it for 20,000. And he says, no, you can't sell it for 20. If you think you want to sell this chair, but it's not satisfied with you, and you begin to drag 20, 20, then it's not going to do the money. You are happy that he has agreed to your price, but he wants to sell that chair for 15. If only you knew, or you did not know. So that is one of the common bias that affects the buyers. That affect the buyer. It's called the anchoring bias. Okay, I'm going to sell this. Have you ever been to junior site? Have you ever been to junior site? See the gameplay there. Very, very funny. You see this thing. They will write original price 28,000 naira. New price 50% off 14,000 naira. How does it make you feel? Let me give you let me say it again. Old price 28,000. New price 50% off 14,000. How does it make you feel? You want to buy that? Because why? They have reduced the price. Because they told you that the old price is 28,000. And now it has come down at the 50% discount. It's now 14,000. You buy two. You know, like, I'm calling my eyes. They are playing with your mind. They understand that you are most likely to buy something that has been discounted. You give it more value. You don't look at it as a 14,000 naira product. You don't even look at it like a 28,000. If I told it was just 10,000 naira, and you don't know now. They think a lot. Go to Genius website and you see a lot of products there. This Black Friday. There are products that have been there since beginning of last year at that price. This Junior Black Friday, they will increase it to maybe a very high amount. Then they will now reduce it and bring it back to that same old price that has been there since.
They will not tell you it has been discounted 90% off. And you will always be interested to buy it because why? You are valuing it for 90% more. You don't get my point now. It happens to all of us in the market. You go, you want to buy this speaker in the market, but that tells you 195,000 naira, maybe 6, and you begin to drag, and the guy says, you don't do that. Give me 8,000. You have to pay now. Even if you walk away without buying, your mind is there. Like, that guy gave me that speaker for it. I will go buy that speaker. Because you're looking at speaker, yes, you're able to bring the price down from 195 to 80,000. Whereas maybe speaker's original price was just 70,000. You don't know. So that is the anchoring bias. Now, another one is social proof. People follow crowd. You know, we spoke about this last week, and I told you it was called the bandwagon fallacy. When you tell somebody that buy this thing because everybody else is buying, that is not the logical reasoning. That is bandwagon fallacy. That's bandwagon fallacy. But funny enough, a lot of people do this. They follow the crowd. And if you don't notice it, people follow the crowd. I want to buy something from somebody recently, and it was a tripod stand like this. And it's obviously like that. And the person said to me that she was not going to buy it because of what she needed it for. But she wants to buy it because her friends were buying it. So you see, it is not even about logic anymore. You understand? It is common buyer bias. She's just being biased to purchase that tripod stand only because her friends are buying it. She made mention of the height, that the height is this, and I was like, but you don't need a tripod stand to be that high. I mean, what do you need to shoot from that height? She said, okay, and they said that it's very strong. And I said, well, these other ones are strong too. Or can't you see them? Yes. But that's just what I want. That's to let you understand that buyers can be very biased when they are purchasing things. It doesn't have to follow logic. It doesn't have to be rational. So then, social proof. Everybody is buying. Let me to buy. Everybody is buying that property. I want to buy that property too. It's not because of anything. It's not because of the things we are telling them, security, it's going to bring high return on investment. Just like that. I have 5 friends. They have bought from that property. I want to buy my own. Simple. Just buy it. They don't have to be rational. Just go buy. I want to do what everybody is doing. It satisfies their intention. It doesn't have to be all this busy. You are giving the close to express, and government project is there, there's security, there's light. Don't really have to. That's what it's for. 5 of my friends have bought there. I want to buy. Simple. They are speaking English. You have to understand this case about me. Then we have loss aversion. Loss aversion. Aversion. People fear losing more than the desired gain. Aversion. 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 You're trying to prevent loss. When you're trying to prevent loss, that's loss aversion. People fear losing more than the desired gain. There's this concept that is etched to every human's mind. This concept of I think it's financial management. It says that a bird in hand is worth $1 billion. I'm glad that somebody knows that here. A bird in hand is worth more than 2 in the bush, which means that you have one bird with you. You already caught one bird. You have caught one chicken in your hand. Would it be logical for you to drop that chicken and go into the bush to look for more? That's stupidity. That's what we say. So, this offer ends on Friday, or only 2 plots left. When they hear that urgency, they are going to be able to charge. They've not bought things, so they've not bought property since. But the moment you let them know that I only two plots that we have left, the offer we had on Friday. I lose out. Maybe come and show me your plots that you have. You see? I just being biased. Not that buying because he needs that property. He's buying because he doesn't want to lose that property. Not because he needs it though. So you have to be able to use these things to catch your clients. Only two plots are left, sir. Are you buying? The offer is ending on Friday, sir. Are you buying? Once he hears that, urgency increases. The bias of loss aversion increases. He wants to purchase. Another bias there is the authority bias. Trusting experts or confident presenters. Yeah. That's why we tell you in the market that you dress professionally and sharply. Because when you appear, there's this bias called the authority bias. When they see you and you look presentable, they trust you. It's going to imagine I came to give you this seminar, give you this lecture, and I came here with round neck, short sneaker, and slippers. You get my point now. How would you look at me? Maybe I walk you will be like, is this a joke? Is this a joke? And what is wrong with that? Is it okay? Probably I now put on this cap and have on this cap to the back. Maybe I should have done that so that I can teach this thing very well. You understand me very well if I did that. So people will look at you and say, no, you don't fit the frame of who is supposed to give us this lecture. So that I didn't work with you. Before you can very well have worked with us, and they are joking with us. These are getting worse in that place. So the same thing happens to clients. When you are going to meet them to market to them, there's this what we call the authority bias. You must look presentable, or else they will not trust you. They can see you as a thief. He just wants to come and steal from you or anything. I don't think he has anything else to say. He's a criminal. Have you heard people say that kind of thing before? You've heard people say that kind of thing before? Say he's a criminal, don't mind, he just wants to come and steal from you. I don't think he has anything else that he's saying. He's a liar. And maybe he is now. When you come, you dress like that here. With your tie and your shirt and your trouser and your belt, and you walk into the room and you begin to present, they'll trust you. That's because they know you from anywhere. Is it logical? Do you know the person? It's not logical. But why they trust you? Because you are presentable. And that is why, and it is that bias that fraudsters use against people. Have you not seen a corporate beggar before? Corporate beggars. Have you not seen them before? Have you seen a corporate beggar before? Dress corporate, so put your tie and tell you that look, I'm coming from Abuja, I just got in here. I got you as well. When you look at the person, you look at it, authority bias sets in. You look at him and say, this kind of person cannot be very well. Look at his style. Look at his shoe. No. If you are very sorry, how can I help you? Say, no, I don't need much from you. Just give me your number and give me your just help me with 5,000 naira, give me your number. When I'm able to retrieve I'll just transfer something back to you. He won't even tell you that he's going to send you 5,000. He will tell you want to transfer something back to you. You get my point now? So you just feel like you are helping out. You're helping a very rich man. Alright, let us find you. Why? Because authority bias has set in. That's how we are. I keep telling you, we humans were emotionally driven. Everything we do is driven by emotion. The only reason why I taught logical reasoning last week Monday is for you to understand that although we humans are emotionally driven, you have to also know logic. You have to also know when to apply logic. These things I'm teaching for you to understand, not for you to judge, for you to understand. So when you see a person make a decision driven by emotion, not logic, don't criticize that person. Don't tell that person that you are not making a logical decision. But understand that because we humans, we are emotionally driven, a person can purchase a property based off on his emotion alone. Now, confirmation bias, seeking evidence that supports existing belief. This is a little bit logical than emotional. Seeking evidence that supports existing belief. The client already believes Lekki property is profitable. You know that this client believes that Lekki property is profitable. So what do? You reinforce that belief with what? Data, information. This guy already believes that making property is valuable. Now, all you need to do is just show him information, show him data, say, see, this is going to increase your. That's all you need to do. Now, there was a professor, an American professor of psychology and marketing. His name was Robert Cialdini. Now, Robert Cialdini has 6 principles of persuasion. So, this topic should be Cialdini's 6 principles of persuasion. The professor of marketing, this one is talking about. Of marketing and psychology. Cialdini's 6 principles of persuasion. Cialdini. Cialdini. Cialdini's principle of persuasion. Now, Robert Cialdini's persuasion model is one of the most scientifically validated frameworks in behavioral psychology. In real estate, where decisions are emotional, high risk, and identity driven, these principles help marketers ethically direct clients toward confident buying decision. A powerful marketer does not pressure a client. Remember when you said pressure, I told you no. A powerful marketer does not pressure a client. It structures the environment so that the client naturally moves towards a yes. You will structure the environment. You will not pressure the client now that say yes, buy it now. No. Work on the environment, structure it so that that client will move towards that yes. Cialdini's principles are not tactics. They are human tendencies that operate subconsciously, regardless of intelligence, education, or wealth. Now, the number one principle, you have followed this. Number one principle, reciprocity. Anybody know what reciprocity means? Reciprocity. Smart, right?
Sorry. Okay.
Very important.
Have you tried?
Yes, please.
I think reciprocal means
From the word yes.
having you to return back.
Yes, something like that.
That is really, as what you told them before,
Yeah.
you need to reaffirm them back.
No.
I think you're getting it.
Or
As in, like if I told you about something, I need to like as in speak it or be it.
No. From what you said, reciprocal. Let's use the most famous saying we know about reciprocal. Respect is reciprocal. Let's start from it. Let's talk about something that we hear very often. Respect is reciprocal. Meaning, if you give respect, it will be given back to you. Now, the meaning of reciprocity should be what?
Yes. I'll try.
Mhm.
That's the way logically you present the issue buys the attention of the.
Right, that's very close. That's very close. What is given is expected in return. Let me just use that simple term to define it. You expect when you give reciprocity. Yes. So people return value when value is given first. Let me tell you something. If I walk into a classroom and I want to give a lecture to say 15 children in that classroom. Children we are talking about, they are what? Let's say they are about 5, 6 years old kids. Okay? And I walk into that classroom and I want to give them a lecture. And before I start my lecture, I share each of them two sweets. What do you think will happen in that classroom? They will what? They will concentrate. Why? Because as little as they are, I'm just giving them something. So they already feel obliged to give me something back. As little as they are, they know that. So it is subconscious. We don't even have to go to school to learn it. If I meet you on the road or I meet you in the bus, we are traveling to another state. Let's say we are traveling to other states. And I meet you in the bus, you are seated beside me. And I'm buying water. And I say, no, take water. You know that throughout that drive, you will feel indebted to me. You might not say it, but throughout that drive, it will be your mind, this guy bought me water. This guy bought me water. The minute you have an opportunity to buy me something, you buy anything without me asking. You know, that's how we love this world. That's how we love this world. The minute, as you enter the bus, I don't know you don't know me. We are traveling around the east. You start beside me. And I called the water while we stopped on the road. And I said, give me water. And I said, don't you care for water? I collected one. And I gave it to you too. We don't know each other from anywhere. Throughout that drive from Lagos to Abia State, you will feel indebted to me, even if you don't say it. I just offered you water without you asking now. Even if you asked, or you didn't ask, and I just gave you. So the minute you want to buy something, maybe Ghana, and you say, hey, give me Ghana, that indebtedness begins to disturb you there. This guy was buying water for you, he said, what's for you? Now, I'm not buying Ghana. I'm not buying for you too. You see? So, subconsciously, it works in our head. So when you are marketing, always use that principle of persuasion, which is called reciprocity. You approach your clients not asking, but giving. You approach your clients not asking, but giving. Don't approach him saying, please come and buy now. Approach him, giving him information. Give him data. Give him news. So look at this piece of land. Look at this property. It's by this side, by this side, by this side. Do you know that the government wants to open up a new road beside it, where trade will boost the area? Do you know that the government is doing a project beside it? Maybe they are building a stadium or something beside it. What have you done? This man does not know what was going on in that area before. You might not even know that that area existed. But you came to him, You gave him information about what was happening. Only thing for happiness, he will feel indebted to you. The moment you not start showing him about the properties in the area and the prices, if he's going to buy from anybody, he buy from you. Why? You're not that giving that information. Why do you buy from someone else? He feels indebted to you. Even if he has his own real estate agent, what will happen mostly is that he will buy a little piece from you and buy the larger piece from his agent. But he will not want to forget you because you were the one who brought that information to him for free. So, when someone gives something first, information, help, guidance, people feel a subconscious pull to give something back. The advanced triggers, unrequested favors, value given without asking increases impact. You know, it's a different thing when you ask me for something and I give to you. And it's a very different thing when you did not ask me and I give you. That's why people value gifts. That's why gifts are highly valued because they're not asked. I just give it to you, you like it more. And when you say, please give me that. Now, the personalization, a tailored help. Oh, personalization, tailored help increases reciprocity pressure. Because it's tailored to what it needs at that time, it increases the pressure of reciprocity. You know, just like how that table water you gave that man the boss, it's tailored to what he needs at that time. Anyone in the boss was hot, you needed water, and you thought, oh, this person will also need water, and you gave to me. It will increase the pressure on him about being indebted to you because you met him at a point where he did not buy water to for him in a cold day when everywhere is chill and everybody is relaxed. You put it when inside the cough boss. So it's tailored to you in that period of time. So it increases the pressure of indebtedness. This person, this person, they don't know me. Now, perceived cost. The more valuable the gift appears, the stronger the psychological. Now, it is table water of 200 naira. But you know that if you value it more, you should give it to him when it's hot and tasty. You look like table water 1,500 naira or 5,000 naira because the time you gave it to him, he was really in need of it. So the value is more than when he doesn't need it. So, if you apply this principle of reciprocity in real estate, number one, give clients personalized property comparison sheets. To personalize property comparison there. Let them see. Give clients personalized property comparison sheets. Offer a site inspection right without demanding commitment. Look at that. Let's go and look at the land. Let's go and inspect the land, sir. Don't worry, I have the right waiting. Don't worry. I will take you there, you see it, I'll bring you back. Sounds expensive, right? But it's marketing. That's why I say that the best marketers, they are very funny. You think that it's packaging such a like, but no, they understand what they are doing. You might be seeing it as just packaging. It's not packaging. How do you know there's other Uber? Uber is already waiting for them outside. As they are marketing, very demand that look, I already have a car waiting for us. Let's go to the site. This is not far. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the client realizes that you're taking him from his own place, put him in a car at your expense. That's what he's looking at. You are looking at it that is following you. No, in his own mind, he's calculating every single thing you are doing. He's looking at that, he's taking me for you. He has gotten a car for us. guys serious. Lemons was free right? How many years did you free right? And the two people you brought him back. He started everything. It feels indebted to you. Well, that guy now, I don't know to. Or you don't pay money for motor now. I will take comes and go buy. Maybe I will buy small one inside. Maybe like say that's that subconscious principle of reciprocity. He just wants to reciprocate what you did for him. It's not even because he needs that land, but you just don't. You just did something for him. Let me show appreciation. I feel indebted to this person. Okay. Provide market insight reports before pitching. Like I told you, if you give them market insights, let them understand what is going on in the market today. They feel like you have done something very big for them. Because you have given them something of value, or you might not know. Also, you share return on investment projections tailored to their budget. That one also is something that you can give to request for reciprocity. Now, understand one thing. As much as you can use reciprocity, use it too much, it does not become persuasion anymore. It becomes what? Manipulation. As much as you can use the principle of reciprocity, understand that if you overuse it, it stops being persuasion and it becomes manipulation.
Yes. You're using so much logic rather than doing it normal.
Is that?
As much as you can use it.
As much as you can use the principle of reciprocity, to overuse it, it stops being persuasion and becomes manipulation. So you have to use it at the right amount.
These are the good facts.
Use it now, let it be for some time. Don't use and keep reinforcing it. If you reinforce it too much, the person will have to begin to question you in his head. Don't question your head. Just because you want me to buy the property from you, you are not right. You bought me food. You did this one. You bought me water. You had me patronizing me now. If really knows that I'm patronizing you, don't do this too much. That's a very, and you know I told you before, once a person realizes that you are manipulating me, he will lose trust in you. You know I said this in the beginning. So persuasion is manipulation is not. You have to understand. So everything you do it in persuasion. Don't let it look like manipulation. Or else you lose the client, you lose trust. That's what it is. The person you right. That's what it is. You want to add anything to that water. Okay, when you're in the ride, going to the side, what water for you. Just enter it. Try. Because let us be logical. If you do more than that for every client you meet, will it be sustainable for you? Yeah, that was he himself is asking himself about you now. They are going. If this guy is buying food for all these guys like this, carrying them in car, buying water, you sure this guy will be able to?
Something is not fishy.
It's a question the whole thing now. This guy is doing too much. I'm busy looking for something. Are you even sure he has one? You know, questions begin to arise in his head that this one that guy is doing like this. Don't say even get am. Guys overdoing this thing. So you realize it's manipulation, but it uses trust. So don't overuse the principle of reciprocity. Use it at the right amount and let it be. The second principle is the commitment and consistency. Commitment and consistency. On a particular time, I was going out with my colleagues and I told them something. I said, when you are to somebody and you want the person to pay attention or say yes to what you are telling them, you can deceive them into learning your head. You know, when I'm talking to you and I'm nodding my head, you just want to copy that behavior, even if you don't entirely understand what I'm doing. But the fact that I'm nodding my head, I'm telling you, I'm nodding my head, I'm telling you, you try to see yourself, okay, I think I understand. I think yes, I think. Then when I finally ask you something that I want you to say yes, to psychology, and you want to say no, because you've been saying yes all this while, nothing your head. It feels contradictory. I mean, if I have been saying yes all along, how do I say no now? It doesn't make sense. So I think yes, because I'm following. You want to follow from your past actions, so you want to agree to it and say yes, even though it's not really consistent enough. You might say no when you go, but right there, you say yes. Because what? You have been saying yes together for a while. So you don't want to contradict what you've been saying in the past. So it's similar to this commitment and consistency. Say a small yes leads to a bigger yes. If a small yes leads to a bigger yes, people always act in ways that align with their past behavior, written statements, or verbal commitments. Once they say yes to something small, saying no to the next step creates a cognitive tension. So you have to get them to say yes for a smaller thing. Get them to say yes to site inspection first. Get them to say yes to something small first. Then they will when you get to the one big. Don't just jump into library subscription form. I can to make your first payment. That's fast. They don't even agree to go to see the property. They don't know about subscription form. That's a very big yes. You don't jump to big yes. You start from the small yes first. Start from small yes. You get them to pay attention to you. You get them to go for a site inspection with you. And they say yes to all of that. Then you are getting closer to the big yes. You have to understand that. Advanced triggers, public commitments carry more weight. Yes, of commitment and consistency. Public commitments carry more weight. Written commitments are more powerful than verbal ones. Yes, you know why? What is written cannot be erased. You have your copy, I have my copy. An agreement, for example, is an agreement. You have your copy, I have my copy. We have written it down. We have committed, we have agreed. Then you come here and say no. I will say, see it now. Obviously, no. Don't be final. Yes. Identity-based commitments make them believe that they are future home owners. Create that belief in them. Belief for humans, I told you, human beings are emotionally driven. Belief for humans is everything. Identity-based commitment. No, identity-based commitment is one of the advanced triggers. Okay? So we make them believe they are future homeowners. They are already committed to the cause of becoming a homeowner. Maybe you make them believe that, make them commit to that identity. So they want to fulfill that commitment. It's not even about you anymore, it's about them. Just let them believe that. They are actually not already. Very important for you. You commit to yourself that yes, truly is a landlord. You want to make sure that that commitment is fulfilled. Now, I want to apply this to real estate. Get your clients to confirm their preferred location in writing. Your clients, get them to confirm their preferred location in writing. I told you that written commitments are more powerful than verbal ones. So get your clients to confirm their preferred location in writing. Ask small yes questions. Small yes questions. When I mean small yes questions, little questions about commitment. Don't ask them, are you ready to buy the land now? Don't ask them that question, this kind of question too soon. You start with little questions. Can we go for a site inspection on Tuesday if they are available? questions like that. It's a build-up. It's not one. It's a build-up. Should I send you the inspection schedule? That kind of question. Small yes. Should I send you the inspection schedule? And most time, there's nobody that will actually say no. Most of them will say yes. I mean, it's just an inspection schedule. You just look at it now. Should I do this? Should I do that? Small questions like that. So before you know it, you look at it and say, can't say no now because you're saying yes all this while. We like to act on a strict line. That's how humans behave. When a human being has been saying yes to this person for a very long time, let's even give real estate for example. If you have a younger brother, for example, that you like to love very much, and every time he comes to ask you for something, you always tell him. The first time you want to tell him no, you'll be feeling it in your mind. You know, I want to do this thing. You will feel that tension, that emotional tension in you. No, I'll tell you no. You come to yourself, suppose to, no, I'll tell you no, I'll tell you no. I'll tell you yes. This boy is funny. No, I'll tell you no. You are only battling within yourself. Why? Because you are used to telling me yes. This is the first time you're telling me that. Don't be difficult. And that same principle affects humans, even in real estate. Once you are told, should I send you inspection schedule? You say yes. Should I book an inspection for you on Tuesday? Say yes. Can we go now? Say yes. Have you seen the land and everything? Do you like it? Say yes. And you say yes. You will tell them, okay, now this is a payment plan. Can I show you a payment plan? Say yes again. And you show the payment. And you say yes. When you show the payment plan, that's it. You know that you can pay for a month. This is per month. You should I give you a strong for you can start with small payment. When you move down for 12 months and you can finish. Start thinking about the next years. Because why? As I do to almost everything. So now it's calculating with himself how is going to meet up to the payments. Because you want to say yes again, you just want to say no. There are not a place where you don't want to say no anymore. So he just wants to now arrange himself. Then he begins to take things like can you give me some time, maybe next week? I say, no problem, sir. Just look at take the payment down to look at it, see something like that. He goes home. He goes home to do what? To think about how he's going to say the next yes. That's what he goes home to do. He goes home to think about how he's going to say next yes. So I will not just say any kind of yes. That's very sure. Okay, I can do this now. I'll make this payment. I probably say, okay, bring some short money. I said yes again. So small yes leads to a bigger yes. Social proof. I think I talked about social proof before. People follow the action of others. Humans use the behavior of others as a shortcut of decision making. Especially when they're starting. Let me give you one funny thing. Let me give you one funny story. Do you remember when all this online WhatsApp trend was started? These people that sell these items on WhatsApp, maybe kitchen items, shoes, slippers, whatever, girls' clothes, and all these things. Remember when those things started? The moment one person started doing that business on WhatsApp, everybody started selling on WhatsApp. That is what? Social proof. That is how human beings behave. We follow the manual of those times. We believe that it's a shortcut to making a decision. Okay, Aisha is doing it and Aisha is making money from it. Let me join that. Maybe POS started. One person run POS and started doing payments. Everybody runs to POS business. Now POS is not going to do. That is how we are. Social proof. Everybody follows the decision of others because they believe it's a shortcut to making a decision. So the same thing happens to people in real estate when they are buying properties. If, say for example, we have types of social proof, let me give you the types of social proof. We have the industry social proof. Now, most investors in this area buy for this particular reason. Others want to buy. Testimonial proof, client videos. They don't know, for example, they don't know how many people has bought this property. They don't know how many people is buying this property. But you just show them video of clients who have purchased. Have you noticed that thing that you might be watching an advert now, and then they will show 3 or 4 people that will testify about that product and say, well, ever since I bought this product and I'm using this product, it has been good, it has been this, it has been that. It gives you what you want to buy twice. You are not buying, not because you have tested that product and it's good for you. You are only now buying because you have watched the testimonial on the TV from other clients. That's social proof. That one is testimonial based, not industry. And then we have another one called behavioral proof, showing actual sales movement. Now, when it's proven to you that this amount of sales has been made on this product, only 2 plots left. And you know, I said, well, how many? And they say, okay, we had about 50 plots on that land. Only 2 plots left. Yeah, 50 plots on that land. Oh. Which means 48 plots have been bought. Okay, give me one more. Give me one. He's not buying because he likes the land or anything. But why is he buying? Because people are rushing into, let me buy it. That's how we know in this class. That's very funny. And then expert proof. You have endorsement from professional. Now, when they find somebody who they believe is a professional in that field, comes to them, maybe a lawyer or a real estate expert, comes to them and tell them, okay, you know about the land? So yes, you know about the land. I think you should buy from that land. Because you see, the things are going on now. I think the government is trying to move most of the commerce to a tech. So they are going to build the roads, they are going to give you to that. And so, okay, because that professional has given him his own insights, he will buy that land. Still part of the job. So, if you are applying social proof to real estate, you have to display case studies of similar buyers. Use momentum indicators like 10 plots sold last weekend. This is moving faster than expected. You get my point now? That's behavioral proof. Share live updates from WhatsApp, inspection group. Introduce prospects to existing buyers during inspection. All these things help to close the deal. Introduce the new prospect to your existing buyer. Speak to your friends that have bought from you before. Tell them, okay, please, I have a people that I want to sell to. And please, I would like you to just talk to you for a few minutes. If that's all, or in 15 seconds, just let me know that I am legit and my properties are actually good. And if you're able to convince your client enough, they will agree, you're saying, no problem. Wherever you can talk to him, maybe on phone or something, and maybe you just connect each other and say, oh, actually, I bought from this person before, I didn't have any issue, they gave me all the required documents, the payments were successful and comprehensive for me, and I think it's actually a good person to work with. That person has just given the life testimony about you as a video. So whoever you are communicating with at that point in time, most likely want to deal with you because other people that have dealt through in the past have given their testimony about you. So number 4, authority. People obey credible, skilled, knowledgeable experts. Now, one thing I will give you about social proof, the caution. Like I gave you the caution on reciprocity. Like you must not overuse the reciprocity because manipulation.
People say very good.
Yes, people obey very people skilled, knowledgeable experts. Now, like I gave you for reciprocity, I told you that if you overuse reciprocity, it changes from persuasion to manipulation. Now, for social proof, it must be factual, not fabricated. Some people, when they want to use social proof to market, what they do? They call their friends and tell them, I'm posting a product online. Go and comment and say you bought the product and the product was very nice and very good and everything. Now, the thing about social proof is that the minute that one person finds out that your social proof is fake, broadcast and that will be immediately. The social proof is less than 10 minutes to destroy that product. Once you just realize that that social proof you have used is fake, you went to call people to come and testify wrongly. It will just broadcast it 1 second on the internet. The internet works like how fast it is. You just broadcast it 1 second on the internet. Everybody knows that this person is a fake person. He's selling fake products. Even if your product is not fake, but your social proof is fake. And for you to use a fake social proof, you have lost the trust of people around you. Nobody wants to buy for you again. So whenever they are employing social proof, make sure do not fabricate it. Now, the core psychology to authority. We're talking about authority. Humans naturally trust authority. Authority can come from expertise, experience, confidence, presentation, and institutional credibility. See, there was a point I, I wanted to take um, a professional course, and then before I want certificates is a credible certificate, meaning that it is endorsed by a government body. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Now, see ICANN, for example. Everybody knows ICANN. Everybody knows that it's very popular and it's very big. You know that. Now, for certificates that are not known, when somebody wants to go for them, they will likely want to find out, okay, who endorsed this certificate? And you need to see things like the American Economic Association, and then is credible. If not, you won't go for it because nobody is no, there's no institutional credibility. So you don't go for it. That's an example of authority we're talking about. So it happened to me before, so it happened to you before. When somebody is giving you insights on products, maybe a medical product, for example, you would listen more to the insights from the doctor about that product than another person, right? Someone selling to you a drug and says this drug is supposed to boost your immune system, and you know your friend who is a professional doctor, what do? You take it to an aspect and say, this drug has research and say, oh yes, it's a very, very powerful drug, or use it like that. Then you believe that that drug will work. Then you buy more of it if you have to. You get my point. That is one type of authority. So advanced authority signal, professional appearance. Now, I keep telling you, your appearance matters a lot when you're marketing. If you want to prove to your clients that you are a professional real estate marketer, you have to look like a professional. Forget all, you might have as many certificates as you want to have at home. But if you do not look like a professional real estate marketer in public, people will not take you serious. If you're dressed shabbily, if you're dressed rough, but then you have maybe 35 years experience in real estate marketing, you have maybe 4 or 5 professional certificates at home, that's for you and for your household. Nobody wants to see you looking unprofessional. So they want to see you appear first before they will begin to listen to what you have to say. Then your tone when you speak, your confidence when you speak. They want to know you have the confidence to market. They want to be sure that you know what you are talking about. They don't want to speak to somebody that they are not sure if he understands what he's saying. They want to hear the confidence in your voice. Then also, data presentation. Present to them data on return on investment of that property. Show them map, show them projections, let them understand what they are doing. These are the things that you do as a professional who is persuading a client to purchase a property. Then you can also show them your certificates that you have earned. You can also show them your awards or even organizational achievements in your company to let them know that truly you are a person of authority in the real estate market and they can actually see you. Now, how to apply this in real estate? Use market analysis sheets when presenting. Let them understand the market. Analyze the market for them. Reference data. Reference data. Meaning go back to the past data. Example, based on last year's corridor growth rates, based on a data of the past, let them see the information. Let it be that we are giving them information and they listen. You can always carry a tablet with site plan, government approval, or pricing structure to show them. Because you have to understand that it follows from reciprocity. You are going to them to give them information. You understand? It's like I told you now, persuasion. You are guiding someone to a decision that benefits them through trust, understanding, and understanding. How do you do that? Always ask yourself when you want to persuade someone, how do you do this? You have to go to them with reciprocity, with authority, social proof, liking, scarcity as well. You go to them with these things. So when you are going with authority, you have to go with information to them. Let them see that you have a property that will benefit them. You show them prices and everything that they need to know about it. Then they will trust you. Now, but understand that authority without empathy feels arrogant. You have to balance both. You have to balance both. Let me tell you something. I made mention of this. I made mention of this. Without empathy, yes, feels arrogant. Balance both. Let me tell you. Somebody was trying to speak to me. Somebody was trying to speak to me. I said the same thing last week. He was trying to speak to me, was trying to market an idea to me. But he was saying it in a place of too much authority. I told him I was not going to listen to him. Because you feel you are a professional, right? And you want to explain to me something that I don't know. Okay, that's fine. But I'm asking questions. You're asking me to go and invest in something, isn't it? And I'm asking questions about it. And you're telling me if you don't want to understand what I'm saying, you don't believe it, you can leave it. And I'm fine, I will leave it. Because man, you are doing too hard. There's too much cost there. I mean, why are you doing so? It's me that wants to spend money, isn't it? Why are you so tough? Why are you so hard? I believe you're a professional, that's your business. But then you're marketing to me. You cannot dismiss my emotions or dismiss my question. That's not dismissing. Because I want to know what I am doing before I begin to do it. So, even if you want, you have to appear as a professional with authority in the real estate market. You also have to balance it with empathy. You must balance it with empathy. What else do you need? Now, another one is liking. People buy from people they like. Yes. Have you ever wondered why many organizations like to use beautiful ladies to market their products? Have you ever wondered why? The marketing strategy.
Yes.
The marketing strategy. They know why they do that.
The beauty is the selling point.
Yes, it's the same when you see the lady and the lady comes around and a very beautiful lady and she needs to smile brightly. The man will be like, okay, yes, yes, I'm just welcome her.
Especially if she has the right information.
And she has the right information. So that goes with it. But you know, from the beginning, from the first what is it, what is it called again? The first impression. You see the girls, beautiful, bold, smiling right there. Oh, come in, sit down.
Then she will kill you in the other school.
Exactly. That's it. By the time she begins to have compliments,
You just fall in love.
you just sit down and just be waiting for her to finish. Yes, yes, continue. You just finish first, let's talk. You understand? It's very interesting.
Part two.
Just it's okay, you glad that yes, let's finish this thing and let's talk. You know why they do that? Because people tend to buy from people they like. The scope. Yeah, that's how people do. So they don't mind actually. They don't mind. They just want to be happy. So that's why you go to many organizations too, and the first point of contact is the front desk, and you open the door and open it there. A beautiful lady sitting down and you walk over there. So even if you complain, you have to have pepper of best calm down. Then you open the door and say, hi, good morning, how may I help you? And you're like, where is the customer service? Say, I'm doing sir. Yeah, still. Okay. I just want to make a complaint. You know, it's not like someone that wants to make a complaint again. You know, someone that wants to make a complaint again, but then you're like, I want to make a complaint. Someone wants to do. I'm just out for you. And then she's handling the home matter, she's fast and she's giving you updates immediately. And the next thing is that they're like, okay, fine. Let me just have the number in case I have any other issue. I don't have to call you again. So the matter did not escalate. That is the scope. So people like to buy from who they like. So it's a strategy that you can use at your advantage. You can work with people knowing fully well that this person is somebody that this client would like to buy from. And you will share what? You will share the sales. It's not better than using the client. It's scope. People do these things a lot in marketing. I know that I want to approach this man, but this man has been giving me cold shoulder since. This man is not going to answer me again. I've gone to him 2 times now, and I tell him to get out. What do you think I would have done? I'll come to the day after. Let's market. People is here is the marketer. I have one time for him. He will buy. He just doesn't like me. And you have to understand the fact that not everybody will like you. It is natural. Or do you like everybody? Let's start from there. Do you like everybody?
And it's not everybody that would like it.
That's what I'm saying. So if you don't like everybody, why do you think everybody will like you? It's natural. It's just a natural phenomenon. You just meet somebody one day and just realize that you don't feel comfortable with this person. Yeah, it doesn't flow. It's natural. So maybe the man doesn't just like you. But you know that you have to sell things, you have to buy from you. I'm going to make money. What do? You go to your colleague who is very busy, young lady, I know that you don't resist. Say, please, I have a need for you. Market to this person. Let us share the sales. She goes, she makes the sale, she wants to share it. That's fine. It's a win-win for everybody. So, this likability influences trust. When clients like you, they subconsciously believe your information is reliable. So advanced triggers of likability, similarity, finding common ground. That is, if you and the person have a common ground. That's why you see that why marketing. Okay, let me give you an example. The one particular time I was in Japan, I was marketing the product. And I marketed to one woman, and then I was a Muslim. I was still a Muslim like that. And the woman asked me, no, I'm not a Muslim. So the woman asked me then that she would buy from me. But she also asked me a question. I said, what? Can you please tell me this story? And I said, "Yes." My own mentality was that what does that have to do with what we are here? Why we are here? I mean, we are here to buy and sell. Why are you talking about religion? And she said, are you a Muslim? And I said, I'm a Muslim. And she said, all right, I will buy from you if you convert to Nigeria. I was like, what does that have to do with business again? But then we are looking at it here, we are saying something. The advanced triggers of likability is what? Similarity, finding common ground. What that woman wanted to do with me that day is to find a common ground where two of us can like each other. She wants to say, oh, I'm a Christian and you're a Christian, you are my brother. Although it doesn't mean anything to me. But it means something to her. And she's a Christ. So sometimes you have to understand that people are like that. If you know that you're afar and you want to go and market land to Geo, General Overseer, you have to change. Maybe you send things. Maybe you send Bishop and we go in your place. Because I don't think Geo will buy land from afar. No, because there's common ground there. It depends. It depends. It depends on the understanding of those people. Yes, exactly. You have to understand that. Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of
Well, that is his own belief. So, what I'm just trying to bring out from this is that similarity, finding a common ground.
Yes, what you're saying is true. How? You know, we Christians are very vulnerable.
Yes.
They are very free. We love everybody because the Bible teaches us that we love them. But if you understand it's practical doings and or character behavior of religion, you can understand that there is gradual contributions that the Muslims don't like it. But even when it's helpful, if you go there, they are Muslims together and you happen to be the only Christian, then you see them in the hands the hand, like trying to teach you. So they deal with mostly you see if a Christian subject and a Muslim subject, they will likely comply for the Muslim guy. I'm agreeing.
Come on now.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to say. Come on now.
in business,
People, yes.
you make sure that you use the similarities that will yield the fruits for.
So that's the truth. What is the truth? Like I was saying, common ground. People just want to buy common ground. They want to buy from Christian. I'm telling you, there's somebody in your church today that is very close from somebody in your church today. That person is a church member. Do you get what I'm saying? There are two people doing business in your church right now. They are only doing that business because they are church members. That's all, not because of any other thing. Because my church member, let me sold from this person. It's my church member, let me buy it. Yes. And that's the way you want that. So, common ground. That's one thing. Number two, compliments. Genuine, not forced. You get my point? Compliments, genuine, not forced. You want into an office, you want to market, and you look at them, you find out how it's a middle-aged woman, and you say, good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Lennon. How are you guys doing? You compliment her and say, thank you very much. They are really changing her mindset about you. Compliment women are not complimenting her. You're not complimenting her, she likes it. You're not complimenting her in a forced manner, just genuine compliments. Of course, she knows that it's nice already. But for you to still comment on it means that, oh, you're also taking notes. Oh, it's fine, I'll be there. It's fine. So she's more open to like you because you pay her eye compliment, but not a forced compliment, just a genuine one. Then empathy. When you market to people, acknowledge their fears and their dreams. Don't be too authoritative or hard and tell them this is the best you must take it. No. No. Acknowledge their fears. They have the right to be scared. They are not making investment. That's why we make a conclusion of it and that's it. But for them, this might be the only money they have to make an investment right now. And they are about to trust you with it. So you must acknowledge their fears. When you say, I'm not ready. Okay, why is that? What deal will you be open to take? What properties are you looking at? Is it the price? That is you acknowledging their fears and their dreams and you want to help them with it. Now, you have to match your energy. You have to work all with them. Match your energy. If your client is the guy that wants to charge and laugh while he's talking to you about it and make some kind of silly jokes, you have to rapport. You have to manage match energy. You not like you. You can't be this because you say you are somebody that you don't like. You are not a lousy person. You are not somebody that likes to make jokes anyhow. You are a very serious kind of person. And you are trying to market to a client who is a very funny man and he wants to make a lot of jokes and he wants to laugh at you and call you stupid and what will you do? You will match the energy now. You have to make sales now. You have to match the energy. You have to laugh with him.
Bring jokes, but come back to this.
Because you come back to business when you make the jokes, come back to. So if you understand that, you are trying to match his energy at the same time you are trying to sell to him. You like it. But when you are being a serious person and don't have time to do it, he's making jokes and you are just dismissing his joke. You just get out of it. I don't like this guy. You get what I'm saying? So always have a stable emotional tone at the same time. A stable emotional tone. Now, applying this in real estate, you mirror the client's tone softly. Like I just said, rapport. Same thing, you mirror the client's tone. The client is giving you a very high pitch tone about how you are praying and what he has been through with all the previous videos or marketers he has met. Mirror that tone. Let him understand that you know exactly how he feels about it. Let him understand that you are listening to him, that you understand him perfectly. Mirror his tone. Use a shared identity. Most first-time buyers in this area tend to talk like this. You understand? Let him understand that there's a shared identity. That okay, so even if you are buying this,
I beg you, try your slide. I think carry on.
yes, I will bring it up.
Okay, you bring me.
I'll bring it.
I want to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
First of all, let me tell you, when you were talking about persuasion,
Yes.
I tell you that as I was sleeping, I was thinking it. I was.
It's possible. If you don't sleep, yes, you can still do that.
I was thinking persuasion.
Yes. It's possible. Even when we sleep, our brain does not shut down. That is why sometimes you can be asleep and the noise that you're hearing from outside can enter your dreams because our brain never shuts down. So the next one, okay. Caution to liking. Caution. I gave you the caution to authority. I gave you the caution to use of social proof. I gave you the caution to use of reciprocity. Now let me give you the caution to liking. Don't fake friendliness. You know that you want to market, just know that you are going to be making a lot of friends out of your clients. Don't fake it. Don't say it's because you just want to sell. That's why you just want to laugh with this person. They will know. It's written all over your face. Immediately, the minute you begin to fake friendliness, just because you want to sell, they know they say it's fine. I don't know why they smile like this. I mean, I know you don't like me, so why are you smiling like that? They'll just say, no, they'll get back to you. They'll never get back to you. Because you are faking your friendliness. Be open-minded. If you want to sell, you know that you want to make friends. That is what it means. Because you cannot sell to your enemy. You can't sell to someone you don't trust. So that these things, you have to be real with them. 100% real. From the information you give them to the friendship you give them. The next one is scarcity. The next one is scarcity. Can anybody mention one of the most valuable things in the world?
Happiness.
Okay. Let's go with emotion now. Happiness. Something physical. One, happiness. Huh? Yeah, something physical. One of the most valuable things in the world. No, that's emotion. Yeah, mention emotion. Land to start. Land to is valuable. What else? What else is valuable? Money. Money is valuable too. Okay. I'm going to mention one. I'll say.
What of those first time?
Yeah, the first start. Let's mention that too. It's valuable. Let's mention that. I'll say gold. I can mention gold. I can mention diamond, silver, and the rest of them. Now, all these things that we mentioned, they have one thing in common, which is what? No, not value. All these valuable things we mentioned, they have one thing in common.
They are useful to read money.
Of course, yes, but they have one thing in common. No, I said money already. Money is not of them. They have one thing in common. They are stars. All of them are stars. Yes. And you know, when you say something has value, it means that it is something that we want, something that we desire. We desire as well as cars, we desire money, we desire food, we desire happiness, we desire diamond, right? But the other one thing in common is cars. That doesn't that beg the question that human beings desire what is scarce? I mean, if sand is scarce today, don't you think that we desire sand too? It's our nature. It is those things that we cannot have that we always want. That is the kind of people we are. There are enough more things that are beneficial to human beings than gold. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. An apple is more beneficial to your health than gold. Let's be reasonable. But why? It's not. But why do we prefer gold to apple? Because apple is everywhere. We don't have a fake plant here, apple. But we don't have fake gold plant like this big. You get my point now. If we go outside there, we can buy as much apples as gold. So it's not valuable to us. It's not things that we cannot get easily. These are things that we like. That's how much we like. We desire those things that are scarce. We desire those things that are scarce. And most of the time, we tie these things to our happiness. And that is why a lot of times we realize that happiness is also scarce. That is why a lot of times we realize that happiness is also scarce. Because why? We tie our happiness to money, tie our happiness to gold, tie our happiness to a lot of things like that, material things that are always scarce. So the moment you don't have money, what happens to your happiness? It disappears. Because why? You're already tied to money. So you can never actually be happy. Because why? Money will always be scarce.
whether you are rich or you are poor. You know what will happen when you are rich? Your cost of living will increase, the standard of living will increase, and you will still need more money. So what happens to happiness? You still not happy. Okay, and let's quickly move. Now, scarcity increases the perceived value. That is why petrol can be 1,000 naira now. Then the moment it is scarce and increase towards 3,000. Because why? Since it is scarce, the demand for that commodity increases. Because we don't have more again. When it was available for everybody, we were just selling at a cheaper price. But now, it is scarce, it's not available anymore. So what will happen? The invisible hand will teach the marketers to increase the price to make more profits from those people. Because that becomes an option. Okay, we are not selling, we don't have fuel. So people bring now, I'll dash you money. No, I'm not selling, I'm not selling. 5,000 naira, and we buy. Yeah, we buy. But we don't buy. The time that they spend everywhere. If you are selling 1,000 naira per year, next musician is selling 980. As you are entering the music of your car, it's just much. Just push your car in front. They are selling less 20 naira less in front there. Go and buy it. But immediately becomes cars. You like you're looking for 980 per liter to buy. You buy 5 liter and you rush out. So why? Because that petrol, the value has increased. That is why you are willing to pay more. In your eyes, the value, the petrol still remains the same petrol that you have been buying all this value. It's not changing. But just because of that scarcity, the value has increased. So you are willing to pay more. So, loss aversion. People fear losing more than they desire gaining. Types of scarcity. In marketing, types of scarcity in marketing. We have time scarcity. Limited offer. Just tell them, oh, this property is going for a limited offer. Offer ends November 30th. Time scarcity. Just tell them that this is a limited time offer. I'm going to sell this property for 5 million naira. It's a limited time offer. By November 30th, the offer will close. It becomes scarce in their head. I know you. November that time will stop. No. You have created a time scarcity. Quantity scarcity. You tell them, oh, I've been selling this plot of land for 20 million pounds. For starting with 50 plots. Currently, we have 3 plots left. What are regions? Quantity scarcity. It's not as if the offer is going to close anytime soon, or it's limited time offer, or anything like that. But you're telling them that people have rushed it. You only have 2 plots left. You only have 3 plots left. That is quantity scarcity. Then you say access scarcity. Access scarcity. You let them know, oh, particular product is exclusive estate and it will soon be over. It will soon be sold out. People will say, oh, I have to rush it. Why? Because it's an exclusive property. Let me quickly get it. Information scarcity. Information scarcity. Now, you are marketing to his clients and you are giving him information on a particular property, like it's a secret. Let me explain to you. Somehow you are letting me know that, see, I don't tell each of my clients this information, but this land now, there is this information that the government is coming towards here to build a new single property or business whatever. Buy this one now in the next 5 years. Let people to appreciate. The person who has considered giving him an information that is not shared to the public. That's called information scarcity. he holds it daily and uses it for himself, thinking that it's the only one you do. Then progress scarcity. Progress scarcity. Say for example, you are launching a new campaign or you want to sell some properties and you said the first three people to buy will be given 25% off their purchase. That is the progress scarcity. Now, real estate application. Government approval in process. Price increases after approval. Now, only 5 corner plots remain. High demand category. That is what it is. Early bird allocation ends on Friday. That's progress scarcity. Access is limited to verified clients only. That is access scarcity. Now, caution when you are using scarcity. False scarcity destroys reputation permanently. If you falsify scarcity, it will destroy your reputation permanently. So, giving you 6 principles today, giving you scarcity, I'm giving you reciprocity, I'm giving you social proof. Which other one again? Which other one? I'm giving you liking. Mention the 6 principles I'm giving you today. Reciprocity, social proof, liking,
People with this
authority,
knowledge experts.
scarcity, and what? And what? 6 principles. 6 principles. 6 principles. The first one is reciprocity. People return value when value is given first. The second one is commitment and consistency. A small yes leads to a bigger yes. Remember? The third one is social proof. Social proof. People will likely buy what others are buying. The fourth one is authority. People tend to listen to somebody who looks like a professional in that field. The fifth one is liking. People would like to buy from people that they like. And the sixth one is scarcity. How do 6 principles work together? An elite marketer layers these principles strategically. They start with liking. Now, they're teaching you how to use these 6 principles to persuade a client. Start first with liking. Build rapport. Do you get my point? The first step in using these 6 principles to persuasion is what? Liking. Build rapport. The second one is what? Add authority to it. Let them know that you are a professional in the field. Appear like a professional in the field. Give them information that makes them see you as somebody that knows what he is doing in this field.
Your appearance.
Your appearance.
Your confidence.
Then number 3, you give value, reciprocity. That's the third one. You give value. Offer to give them a free trip to the site. Offer to do something for them. Offer to give them a free report on the area. Free insights. That is what giving value, reciprocity. And the fourth one, commitment. Use the fourth principle, commitment. Ask small yeses, small yes questions. Set the path. Set the path. Will you be available for should I show you the schedule of the site inspection? Should I show you this? Should I book an inspection for you on Tuesday? You are available for small yes leads to what? A bigger yes. Then show social proof. The fifth one. The fifth principle you should use is what? Social proof. Show social proof. 5 people have bought from this club. Try to connect them with your previous clients and we give testimonials to them. then use scarcity. Provide urgency to a fact. To a fact. Provide urgency to a fact. Let them know that, oh, 2 plus and less. You understand me? Provide urgency to a fact. Okay. So, the Archimedes principles are powerful because they work with human nature, not against it. When used ethically, they help buyers make confident, timely, and correct decisions. The role as a marketer is not to pressure clients, it is to illuminate the path to clarity. It is to persuade them. So, go to the end of today's lecture. You know, I would like to give us something to take home today. I would like you to go and write a 60-second persuasive pitch for any of the P1 spelling problems using at least 2 persuasion principles. Yes, I'll put up my email address. Yeah, write a 60-second persuasive pitch for any of the P1 spelling property using at least 2 persuasion principles. Meaning using at least scarcity and reciprocity, using at least liking and commitment. But don't forget, I said at least 2. So if you want to use more than 2 principles, you are free to use them. Maybe in the next class, it will be the presentations everybody will give before we start the next session. Thank you very much. So let's see. I will bring up this.
I can ask questions.
You know, it was a directed class.
Jam your hands now. Thank you so much, Mr. Tijani. Okay. I'm going to ask what's one thing you learned in today's class? One thing. One thing. You can sit and just one thing.
I learned more than one thing.
Give me one. Give me